Let's see what we got. Who's who in local business? Sapphire Bob Baggett, founder of Sapphire Bob's Phone Farm Services, was recognized this week as Local Businessman of the Year. Sapphire Bob graduated from Oakmont High and worked at San Francisco Tech for several semesters in the custodial department. He then left school and moved somewhere down south and entered the pharmaceuticals business, where he amassed a small fortune. Sapphire Bob met his current wife, Trixie, on a business trip to Las Vegas, and they were married after a storybook 3-hour romance. The happy couple moved back to the city by the bay a year and a half ago and started up a lucrative telemarketing business. Sapphire Bob is quick to attribute his success to others. If it weren't for the hard work of my employees, I wouldn't be making squat. Our congratulations go out to Sapphire Bob and those fortunate enough to work for our Local Businessman of the Year. Mutant Coalition announces Mutant Pride Parade. The Mutant Coalition, or Mutant League, has petitioned Mayor Linder to designate April 2nd as Mutant Pride Day. According to Mutant Coalition Grand Poobah Lepo Davis, Mutant Pride Day will be celebrated regardless of whether the mayor makes it official or not. Events slated for April 2nd include a parade, a pie-eating contest, and a 3-legged race, where there must be at least 2 participants. Ha ha. If you actually have 3 legs, please do not apply. In addition, the local musical groups will perform. The lineup includes Brains and Eggs, Meat Whistle, and the Buchanans, who are sure to sing their big hit, We're So Right, We're Left. Reference to a politician. I forget what his first name was, though. Buchanan. Puppy chews off man's leg! Rochester, New York native Pablito Smith woke up last week to find that Barkley, his 3-month-old Labrador Retriever, had chewed his leg completely off. According to Mr. Smith, he'd been up late the night before drinking mucha tequila and passed out on his living room sofa. He didn't realize the leg was gone until he tried to stand up the next morning. Immediately after falling to the floor, Mr. Smith noticed Barkley playing with the leg. The impromptu amputation wasn't all bad, though. I've been trying for many years to lose weight, said Mr. Smith, now weighing in at a svelte 195 pounds. He is scheduled to leave the hospital today. That's that Monty Python sketch where that tiger eats that guy's leg, and he didn't even notice. Exclusive, The Black Arrow Killer Strikes Again by Lucia Purnell. In what appears to be a carbon copy of the serial murders committed in Arizona and Nevada over the past 2 years, a young woman was murdered in New San Francisco. Police are not releasing any information at this time, including the name of the victim. This reporter has learned, however, that evidence was found at the crime scene which indicates that the Black Arrow Killer has struck again. Reports from several months ago hinted that the police had finally caught the serial murderer in Nevada. This was never confirmed or denied, though this recent tragedy seems to prove that the killer is still on the loose. We will provide all possible information when it becomes available. As long as an information blackout doesn't happen. Oh, we found what we needed to know, but just for funsies. Sports! Gorts on Sports by Al Gorts Jr. The big news today, of course, is the arrest of Manosakis, the power-hitting catcher for the Bay City Mutants. Mano was booked on manslaughter charges stemming from the fatal incident which took place yesterday evening. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Mano ripped a hanging slow curve into the stands to the left of third base, hitting a woman in the forehead and killing her instantly. After the game, which the Mutants won 5-4, and Manosakis 3-run upper deck blast. Mano was cuffed and escorted from the ballpark in a patrol speeder. As it turns out, the victim was Mano's ex-wife, and witnesses say that Mano pointed in her direction moments before stepping into the batter's box. Police suspect foul play. I didn't know it was her, said Mr. Manosakis. Sakis. Foul ball play. Right. Fishing Pros Contest winner. The following entry, submitted by Natty Larson, was chosen as the winner of our annual Why Love to Fish riding contest. Natty wins a 4-day, 3-night, all-expenses paid trip to Stain Lake, Oregon, and a new set of waders. Throughout history, fly fishing has remained the pinnacle of the angler's art. Other weapons of attack on dwellers of lake and stream may come and go, but when man has tried every one, if he is a philosopher at all, he will come back to fly fishing. For the fly rod offers other inducements than merely winning the physical fight. The satisfaction lies, rather, in one's closest to nature, in his becoming one with his environment, in the long pursuit of big-ass lunker trout. Computer Biz Buzz by Mr. Data. According to Chad Froth, spokesperson for Microsoft, there is simply no truth to the rumors that Bill Gates has died in a tragic speeder accident and has been replaced by a lifelike computer replica. There has been considerable speculation ever since the release of Windows 42, in which Bill Gates was pictured on the cover with a hand over his head, apparently staring down at a flower-covered grave. Fueling the Bill is Dead rumors are several snippets which can be heard in the new Microsoft Golf CD. Number 1 is played backwards on a CD player. One of the phrases, reportedly spoken by Paul Allen, says, "I buried Bill." Microsoft adamantly denies these allegations, saying that the phrase is actually Libraryville, the codename for a new Microsoft cyber literature product. Well, there you go. This game just predicted Kindle and virtual books. Movies and shakers. Bruce Willis, still fit and spry at age 91, is set to star in Die Hard 18, still alive and kicking. Willis says that this will be the last and most exciting movie in the popular cinematic series. The plot centers around a terrorist takeover of a Fort Lauderdale retirement home community. Co-stars include Paul Rubens as the terrorist leader and Macaulay Culkin as a bitter ex-child star. Also in the news, United Features announced today that Waterworld, the classic 1995 movie, finally broke even. Waterworld, the 1995 sci-fi classic, finally breaks even, earning its budget back in the year 2043. Wow. Daylight savings shift still hot topic. The daylight savings shift, which was enacted January 1st, has met with mixed reviews. While the Surgeon General has applauded the move, saying that it will reduce skin cancer deaths by at least 50%, others have been highly critical. "We're not owls, for Pete's sake," said Representative Carl Van Dottie, Democrat, Alabama. Senator Vincent Pohl, Republican, New Jersey, adds, "This whole fiasco is turning us into a bunch of frickin' nocturnal beasts." Though there are many rural spots which have yet to shift business hours from AM to PM, all metropolitan areas have complied with the changeover. On the plus side, most businesses have seen little difference in employee effectiveness and absenteeism, and crime is down in most cities as criminals are forced to engage in their nefarious activities during daylight hours. Hospitals, however, have noted an increase in cases of insomnia and sleep disorders. The Surgeon General advises that this is a temporary result of the necessary adjustment and will soon pass. Does this sound like your kind of job? Work in the same building with lots of interesting people. Earn up to 15 minutes in breaks every 4 hours. Enjoy a full hour for lunch, unpaid. A clean, sanitary bathroom available at any time. 3 fully functional drinking fountains dispensing icy cold water. Punch in on state-of-the-art time clock. Sit in a comfortable chair with armrests. Make money simply by talking on the phone all day. If this sounds like the kind of career you've dreamed about, contact Sapphire Bob's Phone Farm Services at 555-0801. A challenging and rewarding opportunity in the field of telemarketing could be your stepping stone to the future. Paid advertisement. Be an artist, or just look like one. World-renowned fashion expert Françoise will appear for the one night at the Bayview Community College Amphitheater. Françoise, founder of the Nouveau Avant-Garde fashion movement, will lecture on a variety of topics, including art, apparel, and accessories, dressing for suicide, and a basic black turtleneck, the new blue blazer. Tickets are $163.27 and are available at the door. The lecture begins promptly at 8:19, and cigarettes will be served after. This has been the Bay City Mirror. Please contact the Bay City Mirror for subscription options. Well, alright then. Don't know what that says. Put the lid back on, come on. No key. Oh. We found a key there in the Under a Killing Moon game, so... This has got to be related somehow, right? I don't know what that... I can't read it. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. I want my 3D TV? Me too!
Good Lord, Murphy. What is it about my shop that has you so fascinated?
It's just your sparkling personality, Rook.
Oh, it's this case I'm working on. So darn confusing. I need to ask you some more questions.
I don't know how you make a living as a PI. I suppose that explains why you're always broke.
No, that's just poor money management skills.
I remember Lucia Purnell. Quite a strong-willed young woman. She works for the Bay City Mirror and came to interview me right after my shop was broken into. I have her business card here if you want to contact her.
you helpful today.
The Mirror is a fine publication. I try to save my copies so they can be recycled. Then the bums come while I'm sleeping and steal them. Probably using them for blankets.
Or reading material. Subscriptions can get costly, you know. Aye. Henny Boo. Nobody else. Let's go use the phone. We've got smartphones now and everything, but I'll always kind of miss the fact that we never got the vid phone set up like appears in this game and other things. They just didn't take into account mobility and such. Like, yes, phones will be able to, you'll be able to get video on your phone, but you won't need a home phone anymore, necessarily.
This is a private number.
Hello.
Yeah, I know. This is Lucia Purnell, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm Purnell. Who are you?
My name's Murphy. I'm a PI, and I'm investigating a case you covered in the Bay City Mirror. The Black Arrow Killer.
Yeah? So are 1,000 other people. What makes you so special?
Well, it's a long list, but if you've got an hour, or maybe 2 hours.
I've got a note that might be from the Black Arrow Killer.
Okay, let's meet. I can tell you whether it's the real thing or not.
All right.
I live in the old city on Chandler Avenue. There's a diner close by called the Brew and Stew. Let's meet there.
I know the place. I'll be there in 15 minutes. By the way, what did you say your name was?
Tex Murphy. That's T-E-X.
I got it.
Okay, it's hard for some people. Didn't mean anything by it. 15 minutes. Well, what can we do in 15 minutes? You know what? I love this comment. I'm just going to watch it again.
This alien landscape reminds me of the old Star Trek episode where they get that distress call, then Captain Kirk meets that beautiful woman, then he and Spock barely escape, then Kirk makes that funny joke right at the end.
Oh, I love that episode. One of DC Fontana's best work. Hey, Clint, you still there?
I heard you're working on some kind of mystery. I'd like to meet the sap that hired you.
Why, what yeah. One of these days, Clint, pow! Brighten to kiss her. Bang, zoom, right to the moon.
You know, I'm in such a good mood, I think I'll just ignore that comment. How about answering a few questions?
Not that there's any, I don't think there's really anything to ask about, but hey, why not?
It's a newspaper. Big deal.
Big deal. Yeah.
She's a reporter for the Mirror. Came by and talked to me after Rook's pawn shop got robbed. Same as you did. But she bought me a tub of Hershey's and a crate of Oreos for my trouble. God, I love that woman.
Crate of Oreos. Do you eat the filling or do you throw that away? Because you're all about the chocolate. Oh, maybe they were the chocolate stuffed Oreos. In that case, I'm sure you were on cloud 9.
Totally unfamiliar to me. So, someone sending sick notes to Emily? Well, it isn't me. Not that I haven't thought about it. Let me think. Nope, I haven't seen a stalker around for weeks. And if you think it's me, then maybe we should just step outside and settle this right now.
Uh-huh.
Everyone thought I
asked you about him already. Gary!
And in a vision, a cow came into the pasture and partook of healthful grasses and grains, and the chips fell where they might, soiling the grasses of the pasture. And it again partook of the grass, and verily its innards were soiled. And lo, the cow was taken to slaughter and made into steaks, and roasts, and stew meat, and all manner of ribs.
Yeah, that'll happen. Oh boy. Excuse me a second, Gary.
The polluted flesh was frozen and sent to supermarkets and fast food outlets, where the damned ate of it freely, giving no thought to the cubits upon cubits of undigested meat festering in their bowels.
Anything else, Gary?
And then, bloated with fatty tissue and beset by painful gases, there was much weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Do you pronounce the G in gnashing? I've always just said gnashing.
I've heard about Crazy Gary.
A blessing be upon you and your progeny unto 3 generations. How may I assist you in your thirsty quest for knowledge?
Well...
It was a publication I perused on occasion, until one day, to my horror, I saw recipes for... I cannot say it.
Ah.
No,
No.
that appellation is foreign to me.
Good.
Well, I hope I didn't take you away from anything important.
Nah, just a fight with my editor. Can't even remember what we argued about.
Well, don't worry, because I'm not here to start a fight.
Truth is, I piss people off, usually the wrong people.
Well, at least we got that in common.
Good. Now, you said you had a note?
Yeah.
Where'd you get this?
I got it from a client.
Your client's in danger, Murphy. How much do you know about the Black Arrow killer?
Killed a few people in the Southwest a couple of years ago, and then a girl around here got killed recently.
You know, Malden might know more than he's letting on. Then again, he might not. Of course, if he did, I doubt he'd tell you. He's not that stupid.
I'm not so sure about that. Look, why don't you fill me in on a few details, and then I can be certain.
It's a long story.
Come on over to the booth and hear me.
As long as it doesn't take more than an hour.
You're slightly above average, aren't you?
Yeah, and many things.
Well, we'll just have to cut you down to size, won't we? When the first bodies turned up in Arizona in the summer of '41, the local police tried to keep the story off the wires. They didn't want the bad publicity. It wasn't until March of '42, when 3 other victims were found, that the story really broke big. Turned out the killer in all 5 cases had the same M.O. He sent notes to his victims before murdering them. I had a chance to see one of those notes. It was exactly like this one.
Had the Black Arrow, all that?
Right, and the block lettering, same words, everything. You probably know cases like this can spawn copycat murders. For that reason, the police didn't release copies of the notes to the media.
Well, so they could differentiate between the copycat killer and the real killer.
Exactly. Anyway, the Black Arrow killer racked up 2 more victims in Nevada before the police finally caught up with him. At that point, the FBI moved in and media coverage evaporated. The name of the guy they arrested was Leroy Kettler. The night they booked him, he hung himself in his cell with a shoelace. Funny thing is, he was wearing cowboy boots.
Now that's a little hard to explain.
After things cooled off, I went down there and interviewed a few people, including an inmate who told me that 2 men in suits went to Kettler's cell the night before he hung himself. I'm pretty sure they were NSA.
NSA? What would the National Surveillance Agency be doing messing around with a serial killing case? More than that, why would they kill Kettler?
Maybe he was a fall guy. Or maybe Kettler really was the serial killer and the feds just didn't want the case resolved. Regardless, there was a cover-up.
Mac Malden said there was another case around here. How does that tie in?
It doesn't. The girl was a grad student at San Francisco Tech. There was no indication that she was receiving threatening notes, and there was nothing out of the ordinary before she was murdered. Oddly enough, the police found a note in her room. At that point, the feds moved in and took over.
That girl, what was her name?
Collins. Sandra Collins. You know something I ought to know?
I'm not sure.
Now, there's no chance that you can give me the name of your client?
You know I can't do that. But I'll tell you what. If I find out who's stalking my client, you're gonna get a scoop out of this.
That's a fair deal. By the way, have you heard of a place called Autotech?
Don't think so.
Might be worth checking into. Oh, and Murphy, one more thing. When I was following this story in Nevada, I met a guy just like you, a PI. He asked a lot of questions, too. A week later, he had a tag on his toe. Suicide, I think.
Purnell certainly gave me a lot to think about. What's the common denominator between Fitzpatrick, Malloy, Kettler, and this young woman, Sandra Collins? Too few details, too many implications. The bottom line is, whoever sent the note to Emily's for real, and she's in danger. Burnell mentioned a place called Autotech. Maybe that's a place to start. Somebody just jumped off the water tower on the roof of Rusty's funhouse. Dressed all in black. Maybe Emily wasn't just imagining that someone was watching her.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
Rusty the Clown used to own this place, then he mysteriously disappeared. In my last case, I found his body hidden in the back. Cops came in a few weeks ago and carried out Rusty's remains and locked everything up. Looks like the cops put one of their computerized locks on the door.
Yeah. Oh, there's only one place to go. Valiant and Valiant. Not Smack Malden.
Did you find out anything else about that note you brought in here?
Some, but I'll give you the details later when I got some extra time. I came by to get some more information from you.
We found Rusty's remains in there thanks to your tip. Sure was good to close a case on a damn clown. I'm not sure who owns the place now, but I still got the key.
Cool.
Sure. After the tip you gave me, I suppose the least I can do is loan you the key. We wanted to search the entire premises, but it took us forever to find a way up to the roof. Turns out there's a secret room with a ladder and a trap door.
Ooh.
We've had the NSA push us out of the way a couple of times. When they say jump, we start jumping and don't stop until they say so. No can do, Murphy. Sandra Collins. That's the name of a girl who was murdered a couple weeks ago. I don't have any other details. We didn't handle the case. She's a crime reporter for the Bay City Mirror. If anything, she's more irritating than you are.
Impossible. Impossible.
The only thing I hate about that paper is that they always get my quotes wrong. Of course, so does every other paper.
Uh-huh. Sandra Collins.
Well, Mac gave me the key to open the cop lock, but he didn't tell me how to deactivate it. Oh well. I'll just have to figure it out. The 4 nodes on the left have to link up with the 4 nodes on the right. The connections can't intersect or the cop lock resets.
Yay! Get ready for terror! Oh. I guess the cops dismantled that horrible laughing sound.
Poor Rusty. Probably burning in hell right now. empty cardboard boxes.
Einstein was an alien. Well, I think we all knew that. Acid trip.
Some crime scene tape left over from when the cops came in and picked up Rusty's remains. These posters tell you more than you'd ever care to know about film processing.
Unless you needed to process film.
This sink must have been used for developing photos. Not much use for it now that there's no developing equipment.
We're still 22 years and change away from this time period, but I doubt film will even exist by the time we reach that point.
Looks like some local hooligans have been in here. An impressive selection of masks and wigs, designed to suit your every mood.
Hey, Reaper. I do not fear him, by the way. What that? What that?
I wonder what this pedal-looking thing does.
Ah! Gigalitis?
Right about the time Grandpa started wearing Huggies, I used to switch one of these for his real dentures. A lot of good memories here. Ah, rubber chickens. They make me think of Grandma's rubber chicken pot pies.
She served them once, and then we had to send her away to a retirement community.
Oh, now here's a classic. Fake vomit. This comes in handy when you don't want people taking the seat beside you. I once broke up with a girlfriend over a whoopee cushion. Literally.
Don't really get what you mean by that.
I wonder why Rusty would keep his copy machine hidden. Unless he was using it to... I don't even want to think about that.
Clown butts and dong in your Christmas stocking, courtesy of Rusty Clown.
It's an old newspaper with Mac Malden named Policeman of the Week. Must have been a real slow week at the precinct. Man, this fake doggy-doo looks real enough to step in. Man, this fake stuff looks so real. It'll make a great gag. Can you imagine the look on somebody's face when I... Hey, wait a second. Oh, sick! Those police dogs were in here. Sorry, Mac, but first things first.
That ain't gonna do it. You better go wash up an actual sink.
Luckily, the trap door doesn't seem to have a lock on it.
Great. Let's climb up it. We'll either reach the roof of the funhouse or find Mr. Frodo.
Somebody left their coat here. It sure doesn't look like it's been here very long.
Yes. Well.
I wonder if this jacket could have been left by that shadowy figure I saw up here earlier. Let's see what's in the pockets. A cufflink and torn pieces of a photograph.
Oh.
DH. Probably the monogram of the person I'm trying to find.
DH. Yay! Puzzle! Whoop-de-doo! I've got another puzzle for you. Boop. Success! Success!
Looks like the exterior of Autotech, whatever that is. Well, Purnell seemed to think it was important. If I can examine this picture more closely, maybe I can find something that will help me figure out where this place is.
What a strange thing for someone to have in that coat. Oh, Coit Tower, what happened to you? Is there an owl?
That bird wants to leave a present on my fedora. I can just feel it.
How can you feel it if he hasn't pooped on it yet? Oh. Get a closer look at you. Ooh, did. Neat. It feels like you're mocking me, somehow.
Well, I won't be able to get into the water tower without a key.
There's a lock on it.
There's a door built into these bricks.
Cool. Totally hidden on the other side.
Looks like a manhole cover. Of course, I'm surprised the term hasn't been officially changed to person hole.
Yeah. You know. The current recognition of the broadness of genders and whatnot, that should probably be a thing.
The police were down in the sewer last week cleaning out the scum. That's the two-legged kind. Apparently some drug dealers were doing business in the tunnels below the street. I heard a deal went bad and someone got killed.
Ooh. Interesting. Shall we go?
Danger, contaminated area. No. Contamination around here?
Imagine that.
I think I'll let that box float right where it is.
Yeah.
Well, this box looks like it hasn't rotted through yet. A chisel. Maybe someone's been down here doing some prospecting.
There's gold in them thar sewers. You'll never get my gold, I tell you. You'll never get my gold. If they have to kill me, I will get my gold over my dead body. I'll give him a fight first. Yes, sirree, I will. Ooh.
A play-bub. Oh, gross. This magazine is filthy. I'll never get all the sewage off it.
Well then. Got Chelsea now, Tex. Time to stop looking at those things. Ooh. Yeah. Didn't help. What that?
This looks like the kind of money belt the drug dealers are wearing these days.
Ooh, any money yet? What I got right now? Just over $1,000.
I think I could put this money to a more productive use than any drug dealer could.
Yeah.
Well, good thing these code numbers are here. I wouldn't want to be in the wrong sewer.
Yeah, that could be embarrassing. I mean, you don't want to be heading for the sewer to meet up with the Morlocks and accidentally run into the Ninja Turtles. That would just be embarrassing. Yeah, so that's where it comes up. Awesome. Well. Ugh. Enter. Oh.
My new vid phone is essential to my business.
Hey, guess what I found out? I got a source that told me Leroy Kettler signed a confession before he supposedly killed himself, only now it's like the confession never happened. No paperwork, no nothing.
So Kettler was the real Black Arrow killer?
Looks that way. Maybe the NSA found it useful for people to think that the killer's still on the loose. So why'd you call?
Yeah, I just needed to ask you a few questions.
You know, I got queries. I got queries that need responses.
I talked to her family after the murder, but they didn't have any useful information. If you want to give it a try, I'll give you the address.
Sure. Let us travail.
The Collins residence is in the new city, in a nice middle-class neighborhood. Takes some explaining, but I finally get Mrs. Collins to let me look around her daughter's room. She tells me that nothing's been moved in the room since the police were here.
Really? It's good music. I don't listen to it often enough.
These papers lying all around don't appear to be very important. The shelves are filled with reference books, but it's nothing I'd be interested in. Looks like a chair of some kind. Nice plant. Evidently, nobody saw anything the night Sandra was murdered. It's hard to believe with all these houses so close by.
Some people will go to great lengths to ignore things that they don't want to deal with.
A color print from the Allen collection of Mayan art. Never heard of it.
Mayans again? What the heck?
A silk gown. These papers lying all around don't appear to be very important. Cosmetics are scattered all over the floor. Cosmetics are... Well, what have we here? Looks like it might be a credit card or an ID. An Autotech security card. I wonder if Sandra Collins worked at Autotech. No. Fitzpatrick said she worked at the college. Maybe this card was dropped by whoever killed her.
Ooh.
A color... These masks look vaguely ominous. Nothing very interesting about this desk lamp. San Francisco Tech doesn't have any major sports teams. They probably wave these pennants during chess tournaments.
Ha.
I have a hunch that some of these drawers might just open.
Could be. Then again, I've seen plenty of drawers that don't open in things.
Nothing in here but unmentionables. This drawer door's locked.
Looks like socks to me.
And nothing in here but unmentionables.
Socks? They're highly mentionable, I think.
Now there's no lock on the drawer. Looks like a copy of Sandra Collins' resume.
Sandra Collins, 659 Palisades, New San Francisco. Resume of qualifications: education, Bayview High School, graduated 2039, SFTC, BS in holographic sciences, linguistics minor, major, University of California, Berkeley. Work history, data entry, beneficial insurance, office assistant for Branson Services, intern at San Francisco Tech, worked on development of Amy T. Wilmer Memorial Display, helped design holographic interfaces, designed a micro-holographic projector system to be run with an unspecified power source, invented a new form interface, designed the micro-holographic projection system to be component-based, made up of separate modules. Hynerian modules, Crichton! Hynerian modules! Job skills. Highly trained in theory and development of holographic projection systems. Strong linguistics education. Proficient computer skills. Strong organizational skills. Exceptional interpersonal skills. References available upon request. Seems like she had a bright future. It's too bad maniacs just don't care.
Nothing too fascinating about these clothes. Nothing too fascinating about these clothes. The shelves are filled with reference books, but well, nothing else. These plates certainly are happy.
Happy, happy, happy. Empty, empty, empty. Wow, that was a loud click. Clunk.
Now this is the only door in and out of the bedroom.
Nice brickwork.
If you get a lead on the Black Arrow killer, remember your old buddy here at the precinct. So what can I do for you? Can't help you with that.
Alright.
Sandra Collins. That's the name of a girl who was marked.
Indeed. Indeed it was. C. Just because I want to see Louis again.
So, who was that young woman I saw you in here with? New romance?
Heck no. Just Chelsea is not out of the picture yet, so. Hardly. Not my type. Yeah, with any luck.
No. I make it a rule never to date women who can beat the hell out of me.
I've always had the same philosophy myself. So, what can I help you with? No thanks.
No thanks.
No thanks. No thanks.
Right, you already know the Yucatec, right? Right?